Trump administration launching a Newark airport emergency task force made up of experts from Verizon, L3, Harris, and the FAA. This is in response to the fallout of several air traffic control screens that now blacked out at Newark Airport. And joining us right now is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. He joins us this morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's just go through the basics at this point, which is how safe is it genuinely to be in the air, to be landing or taking off at Newark Airport?
Good question. It's safe, and that's because we have numerous redundancies in place at the FAA. So when you have issues with your telecom, we slow down traffic, which is exactly what we've done at Newark. And then even if you lose telecom, like you saw twice in the last 2 weeks, there's procedures in place with the air traffic controllers and for pilots. And so it's safe. But again, we have a problem on our hands in that we have an aging telecommunication system using copper wires, not fiber. And we have a shortage of air traffic controllers. This has been a problem that's been burning for a number of years. There were watchdog groups in government that gave warnings to the last administration that this was a problem. Nothing was done. And so now we have solutions and fixes to the problems, but none of these you can snap your fingers and fix. They all take time. And we're going to ask the Congress for the money, the resources to make those fixes. Right. But again, it's going to be, 2, 3, 4 years before we see more air traffic controllers and we get an infrastructure that's worthy of America, into our airspace.
United has already obviously, shifted its schedule and sort of retreated in terms of how many flights it has out of Newark. That's ultimately going to impact LaGuardia and JFK. And these, of course, are international hubs. It's also probably going to put pressure on pricing, meaning that customers are going to be paying more for flights out of these airports. What is your expectation over the next couple of weeks or months for those folks who have actually booked out of Newark, whether those flights are going to ultimately get removed and pushed to other places? Just in terms of, for those, and this is a news you can use question, for those who are trying to schedule things, what would you be doing? What would you be doing yourself with your own family?
So I have the power to convene the airlines with the FAA to talk about, the capacity at airports. It hasn't been used in 20 years. I've exercised that authority. That meeting is going to happen this Wednesday. All the airlines are going to come together and see if they can get to an agreement on how they reduce their capacity at Newark. Because again, Andrew, what you want is you want people to book their flights and be able to fly on those flights without being delayed for 4 or 5 hours and then have their flights canceled. So, again, I think as we get through this week, we're going to have a pretty good idea of what the capacity is. And again, if we get the agreement from the airlines, we're going to be in a place where if you book, you're going to fly.
Secretary, the FAA told the New York Times that as few as 3 air traffic controllers were scheduled to work last night directing planes in and out of Newark. And at some points, there was just one fully certified controller on duty. There were delays of up to 7 hours yesterday. How is that possible? Is that true?
Yeah, listen, we're 3,000 air traffic controllers short. And it's going to take time to train up those controllers. Let me just explain, one quick thing. If you have a controller who, say, works in the D.C. airspace, they've been in the job for 20 years, they're experienced. If you move them up to Newark, it takes them almost a year to get trained up on that specific airspace. So I just can't move controllers around the country and fill the gaps in Newark. It's a specifically trained controller that can work that airspace. And so when we had, air traffic controllers after the system went down a couple of weeks ago that took leave because they were stressed out, that puts more pressure on the system. We had a few additional situations last night. And again, what we do is we will slow down traffic. You'll see delays, but safety is the top priority. And so if you don't have the controllers to navigate the airspace, you slow the airspace down. Or if it's not safe, you shut the airspace down. That's what we do. And so you might complain about delays, which I agree, traveling with a family in this environment is challenging. But in the end, I want to make sure you get to the place that you're going and you get there safely.
I mean, traveling for business is almost impossible at this point. If you're talking about delays on those levels, you can't schedule business. It's going to cut into efficiency in this area. How did we wind up 3,000 air traffic controllers short? And is there anything that could be done to bring back people that may have left or retired, or are there mandatory retirement ages? And there's nothing we can do about that.
No, that's a great question. So, we've had this problem for 10 years, but the school that trains our air traffic controllers in Oklahoma City shut down and didn't ramp up fast enough during the COVID years. And so it's exacerbated the problem. And so what I've done now is, again, the mandatory age of retirement for a controller is 56. Most of them retire at 51, 52, 53 because they can retire after 25 years of service. What I've done is I've offered them a 20% bonus to stay on. Don't leave. They're the most experienced controllers that we have. A lot of them, I think, just patriotic controllers are going to stay on and continue to serve the country. And then there's a lot of problems of getting young people into the academy and through the academy in Oklahoma City. We've worked through the kinks in the academy, and we're going to expand the capacity at the academy, so we're going to get more controllers into the airspace. But again, it takes a year to 3 years to train up a new controller to work in airspace. So this is going to be a longer-term problem. Someone should have seen this coming in the last administration and try to do this supercharge. But we're left with, again, 3,000 short, and we're going to fix the problem as well as trying to fix the infrastructure. I don't know if you saw our press conference last week. We're using 1980s-esque equipment. We have radar that date back to the 70s. The systems are really old. They should have been updated a long time ago. And so now we need new telecom, and we need all new equipment in the centers and towers and TRACONs throughout the country that keep our airplanes away from each other and keep passengers safe.